Alright guys, welcome to our channel Code with Sunny, and in this video I will be talking about a hard problem of the lead code palindrome pairs. Index is 336 and problem is categorized as hard type problem of the lead code. Okay, so moving on to the discussion of this problem, I will call this problem as a strange problem, or I will call this as an interesting one also, because you can see over here a lot of compilation wrong answer, TLE, then wrong answer, wrong answer, wrong answer, they finally got accepted. Okay, the reason behind these enough wrong answers are because of the corner cases. I was not aware about that this can happen, so I will briefly explain it out where we should have to take care for the corner cases and what are the prerequisite to solve this problem in the best possible way. Okay, so the tags associated with this problem is like try data structure, but you can solve this using the hash table, hash map. Okay, so I will be discussing a hash map based solution, which is I think the best solution for this problem, because it will give you us a visualization as well as the your concepts got cleared. Okay, so also before moving to further, I will just move on to this one. I think yes. Okay, so we have just reached a thousand plus members. So I will congratulate you guys for having a continuous, for giving us a continuous love and support to our channel. Okay, so moving on to this discussion. Okay, so given a list of unique words, return all the pairs of distinct indices I, comma g in the given list, so that the concatenation of the two words, this is going to be palindrome. Okay, so I'm not going to hover over the all the words present in this problem statement, because the problem statement is pretty much clear about that and you can easily understand, but the main problem lies is how we can implement that. Okay, so constraints is going to play an important vital role over here. Okay, you can see words dot length is 5000, and for every word at most the length is going to be 300. Okay, you can see if you follow the brute force approach, that is follow find out every pair ij, it will take us around O of n square iterations. You can see 5000 into 5000, it will around 10 power 6, I think, more than 10 power 6. And you can see the for checking the whether the word is going to be a palindrome or not, you can see you have to iterate for 300 times also. So the complexity goes beyond 10 power 7, I guess. So the brute force approach is going to fail. Okay, so we have to just think it upon which approach is going to be better. Okay, for that you need to understand the problem statement, how we can divide and conquer our answer. I'm not going to apply the logic of divide and conquer, but once you divide your strings into multiple substrings, then you can easily think upon finding out the answer. Okay, so I will discuss it about in detail. For now, we are going to discuss this example and we'll first understand how the answer is coming and what are the approaches, what are the needs we have to maintain to get the answer in the best possible way. Okay, so let's move further to understand this problem in little bit detail, and we will together build up the idea and the best solution for this problem. Let's move further. Okay, so let's talk about this example, right? So suppose we have been given this string, like this one, a string of array of strings, and we need to find out the pairs. You can see if I club this one with this one, that is 0 comma 1, and if you concatenate this string, you have the string like ABCD followed by DCBA, and this is a palindrome string, so you have to include 0 comma 1 pair to your answer. Similarly, if you concatenate 1 comma 0, that is if you take the DCBA string first followed by ABCD, you can see this string is also a palindrome, right? ABCD. So you have to include 1 comma 0 pair also. And what are the more strings that can be included in your answer? That is the pairs. You can see if you pick up S followed by this LLS, that is S plus LLS, you can see this is also a palindrome, right? So you can take you are also going to take this pair. And what is this pair? 3 comma 2. If you consider a zero based indexing, right? 3 and 4, and there are more pairs, right? If you take this one and this one, like okay, so LLS plus SSSLL, so you have to take 2 comma 4 as a pair to your answer. Okay, so this is basically the understanding of this problem, how we can approach this in more precise way. Brute force approach is not going to work. I am going to also give you a sufficient reason. So let's move further to understand how this problem can be done in a bit interesting manner. Okay, with the help of hash map, let's move further to understand this. Okay, so let's take two string. Let's say we have some string like S0, S1, S2, S3, and S4, and then followed by S5. Okay, I've taken this as sample string. Let's call it as S. Now I'm also going to take another array of strings containing of two strings. Because understanding this problem with the help of example is like interesting one, and it is like a little bit easier way to understand. Okay, so let's say we have some string like DC, BA, C, D, D, C, right? And follow, and there we have another string called A, B, C, D. Let's say. Okay. Now, one thing that you should have to understand is like consider this S as a palindrome. Okay. For S to be a palindrome, you can easily see if you find a prefix, then if you find a prefix P, and if you reverse this prefix P, you will always find a suffix matching. That is, you will always find a particular suffix from this string S that is going to match with this reversed prefix, right? Okay, so but this is not going to sufficient to solve this problem, right? So you must have to think in more diverse way. And what is that diverse way? Suppose you are going to choose this prefix, then this prefix on reversing is always going to match with this one, right? And if this is, let's say, p dash is the reverse suffix and this is suffix s dash, then what you are going to do, p dash is matching with s dash, and you can also claim that whatever the strings that is present in between this prefix as well as suffix is also going to be palindrome, right? This is also going to be like very much important thing to solve this problem. Okay, that is, if you pick up some prefix, then on reversing this prefix you will find some suffix matching with this reverse prefix, and also you can see the whatever the string substring that is going to be present in between this prefix and suffix is also going to be like palindrome. Okay, note that S is palindrome as I've already taken. So this middle thing must also be palindrome. Okay, now coming back to this example, that array of strings that I have taken, whose length is going to be 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you cannot do the brute force, so you need to work upon a particular string. Suppose I'm working on this string and its index is I. Okay, now what I'm going to do is find all the prefixes of this string, current string now, which is this string I'm talking about. That is, if you are working on this prefix DCB, and you can claim that this is a particular prefix and this is P dash. Okay, not P dash, let us call it as P, and on reversing this P you will get P dash. Okay, now for forming a palindrome string, okay, you need to search that whether there exists a string P dash in your array of strings vector, array of strings, such that let's call it as P dash position as J, and if it exists, let's call it as P dash position as J. You must have to check it out, I must not be equal to G. Okay, now as I've already said, consider this example of being a palindrome. That is, P dash must be matching with S dash. What I'm going to do, search this P dash string, which is actually the reversed form of the prefix of my current string, whether it exists in my array of strings or not. Now you can see, yes, it exists. Now yes, but it exists, but you need to also check it about that whatever the suffix that is after this prefix must be a palindrome. Okay, and how this is going to help us to build a palindrome string, right? Suppose that we have some prefix P. On reversing this prefix P, we have some P dash as the reversed form of the prefix. Now the remaining suffix you can see over here is a palindrome. Okay, now there is some palindrome string plus on that is P dash is also existing in this array of strings, right? Then you can append this, you can append the string I, that is string at position I and a string at position J, right? And on appending this one, you will find another string, that is, let's say, SJ. This is the entire string which is palindrome. And what is the question demanding, right? You need to return all the pairs of distinct indices I comma j in the given list so that the concatenation of the two words, this is a palindrome. And do we have done concatenation? Yes, we have done this concatenation. You can see this is the prefix of my current string and this is the suffix of my current string after that prefix. This is actually this entire string that I am working upon, that is my current string, and this is the new string that I've searched down, and which is going to be when I concatenate this string at jth position and string at ith position, you will get a palindrome string. Okay, so this is actually, I think this much have helped you guys to understand this one. Okay, for some of the people, if they haven't understand right now, let me let me speak it about in a more different way, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for every array of strings, you need to work upon the prefixes to build a palindrome, right? I'm not going to talk about checking the palindrome, build palindrome. And how we can build this palindrome? We can build this palindrome on the basis of this logic that I've already said. Select some prefix and check it out if the reversed form of this prefix is also existing in my array of strings. And let's say that it exists at jth position and I is not equal to j. Then we can concatenate this s of I and s of j only and only when the prefix is going to be a palindrome. And can you find a valid, that is, can you concatenate this one to that is, can you concatenate this ith string, that is dcba cddc with abcd? Yes, you can concatenate this one. And how you can do this? dcba cddc plus like abcd. You can see, if I will concatenate this one, then you can easily find, we'll remove this plus sign, that is some prefix dcba is matching with this suffix, and the string that is lying between here is the palindrome. Okay, so this gives me the idea that rather than checking the palindrome, try to build the palindrome, and it can be only done by checking all the prefixes. Okay, now what are the edge cases that you need to be cared of? That is, the edge cases that you need to be cared of is, like, suppose you have some string like a and you have some another string like empty string. Okay, so you can take this a plus this empty string, and you can take this empty string with this a. This is the edge case that you need to handle separately, because there are some flaws, like I have also encountered a many edge like a wrong answer because of this edge case, because I haven't considered that strings can be empty. Okay, I need to also talk about the time complexity, right? So what is the maximum number of words that the strings that I can get? 5,000, right? So you can see 5,000 is the number of words of the string, and I am also dealing with the substrings, right? So 5,000 into length L square. I think this is the complexity. Okay, so yes, this is the complexity, right? Okay, so let's move on to the coding part and let's understand this in a little bit more detail. I will also explain while explaining my code also, right? So you need not to worry about if you have missed something. Okay, I will talk about the best one code. After all these wrong answers, useless wrong answers because of the edge cases. Okay, okay, so I have written this palindrome function you are seeing over here to check whether the string is going to be a palindrome or not. Now I have a palindromic pairs function. Okay, so this will store the answer, and here I will have unordered map of string comma int, which is actually a mapping of strings comma indices. Okay, now the reason behind doing this mapping is quite very much simple, right? You need to find out the, you need to find out the j, that is string j. Okay, not the string j. You need to find out the jth position, that is whether this p dash is going to string in this array of strings or not, and if it exists, what is the position of that p dash string, that is the reversed form of a particular prefix of a particular string. That is, what is the position of this reversed form of this prefix. Okay, this can be easily done by with the help of mapping. I will map all the reversed form of the strings. You can see, for every words in this words vector, I will first reverse this word, and I will map this reversed word and give it a unique index, that is my current index I. Now I have to deal with the edge case, right? If my map contains the empty string, you need to do one thing, and what is that one thing? You need to iterate over this one words, and if my particular word is non-empty, right? You can see you can have a string of this type. That is, if you take AB, then BA, and we have you have some empty string also. You can see if my string is non-empty, and this is a palindrome, and we all know that there exists some empty string in my array of strings, right? Then what you are going to do is you are going to take this palindrome string, that is the current string, plus this empty string. I am going to take this answer dot pushback I comma MP of this empty string, and note that MP of this empty string is going to give us the index of that empty string. Okay, you guys must be wondering why not I push back MP of this. That is, there are two possible strings, right? If you consider it as a zero position, if you consider it as one position, you are going to push 0 comma 1 as your answer, and you are going to push 1 comma 0 as your answer. But I have pushed this one only as my answer. The reason is quite simple. It can be managed with the help of this coding part. That is this further code. That is, I have only pushed back this one, and for the remaining of this another pair, it is going to be done by this code, right? So I'm going to also explain this one. Okay, so iterate in this words vector, and for every word you are going to find out for the particular prefix also, it is going to be stored in left. You can see left, and for a particular prefix, after that prefix you have some suffix of my current string, that will be stored in right. So left will store a particular prefix, and right will store the suffix. Okay, so I will check it out. If mp dot count left, that is, if my current prefix is going to exist in my what, if my current prefix is going to exist in my array of strings or not. Like, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search, check it out if my left is going to exist or not, and the index is going, that is the j that is going to be returned, is not matching with this I. Yes, it is okay. And check my suffix is a palindrome. Yes, I can claim that this pair should be included in my answer, right? And similarly this is going to be done by the right one also, because we can have the two possibilities: either take the prefix from this left, or reverse this one, or we can take the suffix one also. We have to check both the conditions. Okay, now you guys must be wondering where this case comes up. Okay, this case comes up when we take up all the strings, right? This one, entire one, this entire ABBA. Okay, so when we take the entire string, that is j reaches the end of the length, you can see the suffix, that is the right will store the empty string, and it is being managed with that. Okay, so you need to check these two conditions. Note that the thing that I am going to do is, like, I have already reversed the every strings that is present in vector string of words. What I have been saying in the in my this tutorial is, right, you have to reverse your current prefix and make it p dash, and then search in the array of strings. We can do in a reverse manner. Reverse all the strings in your array of strings, so that we have the reversed form already. And when you encounter some prefix, you will check if this prefix is existing in your array of strings, which is actually in the reversed form, and this is going to be stored in your unordered map, right? And we have some mapping of strings and its unique indices where it is present. Okay, so we have to check these two conditions, and it will return all the possible pairs as your answer, and finally return the answer. Okay, so if you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section of the video, because this is problem is actually really much interesting and it's still quite a strange, I can say. So do like this video, share this video, and thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe. Okay, so bye bye.